Good afternoon. This is a fig tree, and this is a little video about how to prune or winter prune a fig tree once the leaves have come off. 1st of November, so obviously you can see the leaves are well and truly off this one. Still got some fruit left on. If they aren't ripe now, they're not going to ripen up. None of these chaps are ever going to do any good at all, unfortunately. And in this country, even in nice warm bits of Suffolk like we are here, you're not going to get figs like this to overwinter to next year and ripen next year. It does not work, I'm afraid, despite what some of the books will tell you. You can get 2 crops off a fig, but you won't get these ones to overwinter and ripen again next year. Certain varieties will crop twice. Depends on where you are in the country, how warm the spot is. It's quite important to understand just how figs actually fruit. That way you've got a good chance then of pruning your tree to make sure you get some fruit. If you just leave it like this, what will happen over winter is all these ones will get frozen solid, and then they'll fall off in spring, and then the tree will have to start all over again, pushing some new ones out. So it's best to remove these now, get them out of the way, snap them off, because the sap stopped flowing, or just about stopped flowing now, so you won't get too much milky sap coming out. So you've got a few ripe ones left, or nearly ripe ones. Some of these probably not going to make the grade, I doubt, but good enough to make some jam from if you want to collect up what you've got left, if you have any, and you can do some preserving with those that are left. Right. So, to the pruning and the fruiting. As you can see, it fruits on the ends of the shoots. Depends on when those shoots have grown as to when it's going to fruit. Ideally, you want to get your fig tree to produce 1 crop only. That way you'll get 1 good crop. If you try and make it do 2, invariably you will get 2 poor crops. Now next spring, this is going to start producing fruits on these ones at the ends. So it's this summer's growth that's going to start to fruit next spring. These ones, you can see the little embryo figs on here, which are fine. You can leave those little ones on. It's those ones you want off. Little embryo figs on the tips, they're the ones that are going to start to ripen in the spring. So that's what you've got to bear in mind. If you come round now and prune all this lot off, snip away and open it out and prune it off, once it's gone it won't fruit. So just bear in mind which bits work. The other thing to do with this now is to open it up a bit, let some light in, because the other thing figs need is sunshine. So if you've got a big canopy of leaves over the top, it's going to shade out all of the fruit, and then again it will struggle to ripen up. So what you need to do is to get these ones out that are crossing, the ones that are heading into the middle here, little shoots like this, thin spindly shoots, weedy shoots. They're not going to do any good, so get rid of them. This one in the middle here, possibly leave it, but these are going to grow at the ends, these ones, which is then going to shade any fruit out you'll get on there. So best have that one back to there. That way it'll open him up. A few odd dead bits of wood in here as well. You always get the odd dead bit. Take them out. It's no good if it's dead. Again, you can see, just start to see these little embryo figs forming on the ends here. They're going to ripen in the spring, or start to grow in the spring, should I say. More dead bits. Thin, spindly shoot in the middle here. It's weedy. It's never going to get enough sap up it to fatten those fruits up. You imagine how big a fig is, weighing sort of 6-7 ounces each. You know, you want a big fat fruit. You don't want thin, watery, dry things. Suckers at the bottom. Another question, what do you do with them? You've got 2 choices, leave them or take them off. If you leave them, you will end up with a tree that is a complete thicket. It'll be a complete copse of a fig. It'll just go 8 to 10 feet wide and more, because they can be quite vigorous. So if it's growing like this one in a pot, I would probably take it off. If it's growing in the open ground, the choice is yours. You could train these ones sideways along the wall, let them go out again. It's a bit like personal preference really. These will all bear fruit, so you can bear that in mind. And for now, on this particular one, I'm going to take them all off. Pruning, as you would any other fruit tree, quite close, but not too close to the stem. The other thing you can do with these suckers, if you want to go to the effort of it, is dig them up. You can spade these out or cut them out with a sharp knife or a saw, with some roots on, pop them on, and off they'll go. You can grow them on, give them away to a friend. Much as I'd rather you gum and book, by the way, but you can get rid of them that way. So you get these suckers tidied off, trying to get them down as far as you can, because you don't really want them to shoot out again from the base, which they can easily do. Right, so how are we doing? A few odd little short ones along here, dead bits. Now, is it going too tall? What are you doing with the tree? Are you growing it in a pot on the patio or on the wall? This is growing on the wall. You can pull this branch down, tie it into the wall and carry it on as the fan. More arms to the fan equals more fruit. I would be tempted with this chap just to take the top out somewhere up here, bring it down a bit, because this one's going to stay in a pot for the foreseeable future. And that also then balances the shape up fairly even both sides. All that's left to do on this one now is to remove the remainder of any other dead branch. Dead branch. Remove the remainder of these odd dead fruits. Snap them off and get them out of the way. And that will be about it. Don't go chopping lots of big heavy bits off unless you absolutely have to. If you want to rearrange the shape of it, you can. But if it's not necessary, leave them well alone. That's all you want to do for the moment. Tidy them away now for the rest of the spring. As you can see, we're putting ours all in straw because they're in pots. Don't want the pots to get frozen over the winter because it will harm the roots if they're in pots. The next thing we'll do to these when we bring them out in the spring is just to take the tip off. That's this very weeny growing point you can see at the end, and that's the only bit we'll take off. And it simply involves that. Just to show you what's going on. Just the tip, no more. Again, as I said earlier, if you come back down into here, you'll prune all the fruit off. Just take the growing point off. That will then slow the tree down a bit, but because the embryo figs are in here, it'll make them grow. It'll force them out. It'll start them off early. So come April time, prune the tips off, the young figs will start to grow, and it will then come into leaf, and off it goes, and the figs will be already well on their way to fattening up and turning into nice juicy fruits in August. That's all you'll need to do in the spring, just those little growing points. If you have a very vigorous fig tree that's in the ground, for example, they can grow quite fast, as you probably know. If it grows really fast, you can then reduce this growth back again in the spring. But I'll post another shot up next spring just to show you where that is. Otherwise, leave them alone. Let the figs ripen. Thin off any bits of foliage if you need to in the spring as they grow, just to let the sun into the fruits. And that's basically it for a fig tree in a pot.